Hello class, welcome back to your online class. So in our previous video we were discussing chapter 4, that is absorption by root. In that particular video we have already discussed the function of the root and characteristic of a root which makes it efficient for absorption of water. In today's class we will be discussing about the different process which helps in absorption and conduction of water and minerals. Okay, first let me introduce you to the different processes. What are those? Imbibition, diffusion, osmosis, active transfer, turbidity and flaccidity. First let us understand what is imbibition. Okay, now there are substances which are rich in cellulose and protein. Now these substances have a high affinity towards the water. They are hydrophilic, water lover. So whenever they come in contact with the water, what happens? It absorbs the water. Okay, so what is imbibition? It's a phenomenon in which either living or dead cells which are rich in cellulose or protein absorbs water by surface attraction. Okay, let me give you the example of imbibition. During rainy season, if you have a wooden door, since there is a lots of moisture in the air, what happens is these wooden substances are rich in cellulose, so it will be absorbing the water present in the air and swell up, because of which it becomes difficult for you to lock the door, wooden door. Okay, and during the winter season again it comes back to its normal. Okay, if you have soaked raisin or soybean in a soya chunks in a water, okay, after few hours what will you be able to see? You will be able to see that those raisin has absorbed the water from outside and has swollen up, okay, or the soya chunk. Okay, now so for the rupture of the seeds, since the seed coats are rich in cellulose and proteins, they absorb the water from the surrounding soil, and then that helps in rupturing the seed coat also for germination to take place. Okay, so imbibition, it's a absorption of the water by the substances which are rich in cellulose or protein. Okay, I'll follow it up with the experiment which will show you the same. Okay, now you can dry raisin here. You'll add water to it. After keeping this setup for a while, what will you observe? The raisin has swollen. Now next let us discuss about diffusion. What is diffusion? Now diffusion is the movement of solute particles from a higher concentration towards the lower concentration. Okay, it takes place in any medium, liquid, solid or gas. For let me give you an example. If I spray a perfume here, the person sitting in the other corner will also be able to smell that perfume. So here the perfume particles has moved to that particular place also, so that's a diffusion. Okay, I'll show you one experiment regarding this diffusion with the potassium permanganate. What have I done? I have taken a beaker, okay, and I have dropped few potassium permanganate solution in a corner. After keeping it for a few hours or few minutes, what will you be able to see? You will be able to see that whole water turns pinkish, but you had dropped that potassium permanganate solution only in one certain corner. Because of the movement of the potassium permanganate from the one corner from the higher concentration towards all the other lower concentration area, the whole water turned pinkish. Okay, other example could be if you put a few sugar cubes in a water. Okay, after a while whole water turns sweet. Okay, that is also because the sugar cube particles have moved from a higher concentration towards the lower concentration. So by the process of diffusion also your absorption of the water takes place. Okay, now if there is a more amount of water in the soil as compared to your one inside the root hair, because of which water eventually moves towards the root hair or from the surrounding soil. So diffusion is also one of the process by which absorption of water take place. Okay, now next one and the most important one is your osmosis. Okay, most of the time the question is asked from osmosis. We will be discussing few of the experiments regarding the osmosis also. Okay, now if you see diffusion and osmosis, most of it looks like a similar process, because in both the process the particles are moving from a higher concentration towards the lower concentration. Okay, but your osmosis takes place only in a liquid medium. Okay, whereas your diffusion takes place in all the state, that is liquid, solid or gas. Okay, now osmosis, in case of osmosis, water moves from a region of higher concentration. Higher concentration here we are discussing in respect to the amount of water. If there is a more amount of water from a region where there is a more amount of water, it will move towards the region where there is a lower amount of water. In case of osmosis, movement of water takes place, but in case of diffusion, the movement of a solute takes place. Okay. Now in case of osmosis, you need a semi-permeable membrane. Okay, you need a semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane, these are the membrane which allows only certain things to enter. Okay, so semi-permeable membrane is essential in case of osmosis, but in case of diffusion you do not need any kind of membrane. Okay, the process eventually takes place. So most of the water in the root is absorbed by this process called osmosis. Now how is that possible? Like we have discussed in our previous video that the cell sap, what is cell sap? Cell sap is a mixture of water and minerals. Okay, inside the root hair, okay, cell sap inside the root hair has a lower concentration of water. Lower concentration of water. And outside the root hair, that is in a surrounding soil, the amount of water is more. So what did I tell you what will happen? Water will eventually move from your surrounding soil inside the root hair without the expenditure of any energy. Okay, so that's osmosis. So most of the water absorption is taken place by the process of osmosis. Okay, now next we will be discussing few of the experiment which will make the concept clear about osmosis. So now let us discuss one experiment which will make the concept of osmosis clear. Okay, now you can see the experimental setup in order to discuss this particular experiment. You can see what are the different materials that is required for this experiment. You need a beaker. Okay, you need Thistle funnel. This one is referred to as Thistle funnel. You have a clamp and you need sugar solution and water. Okay, now what is the process for carrying out this experiment? So process is as follows. What will you do? You will take a beaker, fill with water, okay, and then you will take a thistle funnel. You will fill the thistle funnel with a concentrated sugar solution, and this portion of a thistle funnel which is open, you will cover it with a cellophane paper. Cellophane paper here is acting as a semi-permeable membrane. Okay, then you invert the thistle funnel and then place it in such a manner that your thistle funnel is completely immersed in a beaker. Okay, mouth of a thistle funnel is completely immersed in a beaker. So after a while, you will keep this setup for about 2-3 hours. What will you see that after a few hours, what will be your observation? Your observation would be the level of solution in a thistle funnel will be rising upward. Okay, you will see the label has risen as compared to the initial label. Your label has risen a bit. Now why is that happening? That's happening because the water, there was a more amount of water in a beaker as compared to that of inside the Thistle funnel, because there you had a sugar also and less amount of water, because of which the water from the beaker will be moving inward, okay, towards the Thistle funnel. What is that process called? Osmosis. Here you have a cellophane paper which is acting as a semi-permeable membrane, and here the movement of water is taking place. So this is known as osmosis. Okay, so if you, in place of cellophane paper, if you replace it with a rubber sheet, okay, rubber sheet is impermeable towards the water. That means it does not allow the water to enter. So what do you think would be your observation? Your observation would be, you would see no water level rising on a Thistle funnel, because there is no semi-impermeable membrane, okay, because of which water cannot enter the Thistle funnel. Okay, so in case if you replace the cellophane paper with a rubber sheet, you will see no rise in the level of water in a level of solution in a Thistle funnel. Okay, so I hope you understood what is osmosis. Okay, this experiment is very much important. They generally ask you question from this experiment. They give you this experimental setup. They will ask you to define the process which we are trying to study here. What is the process that we are trying to study? It's osmosis. How can you say that we are studying osmosis? Because we have taken here cellophane paper which is acting as a semi-permeable membrane. And why is the water level rising after keeping the experimental setup for few hours? Because your amount of water in the beaker was more as compared to that of a Thistle funnel. That's why the water level has risen, has entered from a higher amount towards the lower amount, thus rising the level of water in a Thistle funnel. So generally they will ask you question like this from this particular chapter, and then generally they ask you experiment regarding osmosis with a question like this. Okay, and they will they might modify the question, like if you replace the cellophane paper with a rubber sheet, what will happen to the level of water? Or they might use other semi-permeable membrane like whisking bags. It's also a semi-permeable membrane, it allows the water to enter. Okay, so they will ask you question like this. They will modify the question, but the basic of if you have a concept, you will be able to answer it. The basic of all the question that would be asked is similar to what we have done right now. Okay.